job by our defensive back, that's Sheikh Nur Haji, the 6'1", 170-pound junior number 3, picks off the pass in the end zone for a touchback.
Intercepted. There is the dagger.
Here comes a rush. Throws out, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Good defense by Haji.
Yeah, very excellent defense.
Nur Haji, who, by the way, is an outstanding person. I get the honor of knowing him weekly in class. Outstanding kid. Great pick play right there. And now UD and their high-tempo offense from the
7 years is how long I played football for. And even a year without it, I'm still figuring myself out, my identity out, and especially life. I started playing football when I was 16 years old. I mostly got into it just because my friends were playing it. All my friends were football players. I was always the smaller kid, so I never really got into such a physical sport. But, once my friends started playing it and I was kind of the only one not playing, I told myself, why not just join and see where it goes? So honestly, I just kind of played it just because, gave me something to do instead of just going home after school. But eventually, you just start falling in love with the game. And being a sophomore, and this is my first time playing any organized sport for real. I grew up playing sports, but it was kind of just on my own or with friends, family, stuff like that. So playing an organized sport, it's different, and especially with football, I think it gets a bad rep. People always talk about the negativity of it, the physicality, and how dangerous it can be, but I don't really hear conversations about how positive it can be as well. All the skills and things that you may take away from it, such as a brotherhood, discipline, and just growth. Not only to become a better player, but ultimately a better man outside, on and off the field. Football was my identity. My name really couldn't have been said without football being in the same sentence, nor the football player, or I play football, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Especially since it was my damn near my full-time job, you know what I'm saying? During the span, I ain't worked for real. Everything that I did was just football related, and school, obviously. But either training with the team, and if I'm not training with the team, then I'm either running or training again, either by myself or with my friends. So pretty much I invested, everything in this sport, and I just gave it everything I had. It was literally my full-time everything for so long. And when you have goals and when you invest in yourself with things like that, you always think about your goals coming out with that thing in mind. You know what I'm saying? They always, at least for me, every time I thought about the future, football was in it. Not once did I really think about my future without the sport. And more often than not, a lot of people just talk about their goals being accomplished, but we don't really discuss the life that happens when those goals aren't met. And for me, just like everybody else, I've had dreams of playing in the pros, whether it's the NFL, XFL, CFL, whatever it may be. But I wanted to keep playing the sport I love in the next level. And I honestly couldn't see my future without it. But now that is no longer in the picture, it's a crazy transformation. A lot of people don't really discuss you lose your self of identity. When it's no longer in the picture, whatever it may be, a sport or something that you've been doing for so long, and it's no longer in the picture, it's kind of like you got to find yourself all over again because that's no longer you. It was part of you, but eventually everything comes to an end. And when that thing comes to an end, you gotta really figure out who you are as an individual and pretty much what you actually stand for. Because I realized that football, I was so consumed by the identity of it. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, oh, I just happen to play this sport, but I'm pretty much am this sport. So without it now, you kind of got to figure out who you are and just your identity without it. And it's something that I never really thought about until it ended. My football dreams are no longer. It's been over a year now, but I'm still in the process of self-identifying myself. I believe I've been having kind of an identity crisis. Um, but I'm really glad that I'm kind of experiencing this in my early 20s. There's people out there that have their, I forget what it's called, um, midlife crisis later on in life. But I'm glad that mine's kind of happening earlier, so I have more wiggle room just to discover myself more and understand it and see really what who I am and what's meant for me. Though football came to an end, I did not leave empty-handed at all because, like I said, everything that I learned during those years have translated into my daily life. I'm so much more disciplined than I ever was, more motivated, more self-driven. I've created lifelong friends, and yeah, it just translated into me being, I believe, a great human being. And I do really truly believe that if I wasn't able to play this sport and invest in myself so much to the fullest potential, even though the goals didn't match themselves, I would be a completely different person. But regardless, I did not leave empty-handed, and I'm just super grateful and blessed for that. And the craziest part is playing it for 7 years. My friends have been playing it longer. Some are still playing it, but looking back, it did not feel like 7 years. Honestly, all those seasons, all them practices, them spring balls, them fall camps, them little injuries, little nicks, all that stuff. It just seemed like all of it happened just like that in a snap of a finger, and you just kind of open your eyes and you're just in a whole different place. But yeah, me being 23, uh, I'm still pretty young, and I'm still figuring out life as we go. But I'm just super grateful from the journey that I was able to experience, especially being a walk on um, onto a D1 team and transferring and being a starter on the football team. It just, it's a blessing. A lot of people can't say they did that, but I truly beat the odds and, grew and just continue to prove myself right and proving others wrong in the process. But but the biggest thing of all is just trusting God, trusting the process. Without God, none of this will be possible. And once you put all your faith into whatever you believe in, you can't lose. Everything is forever working in your favor, regardless of what may happen in your life. You may not see it now, but eventually it'll all make sense. So I just give all glory to God, and I'm just super blessed and grateful for everything this far. I'm still figuring out life, like I said, but for my age, I would say that I've been doing my shit. So yeah, just want to share my journey a little bit, but more so just express that everybody's going through something. You know, you may not see it. You know what I'm saying? The biggest battles are the ones that you can't see. But to everyone that's kind of having those doubts or crises in your life, I want to be that reminder that you're not the only person. Just keep staying strong, keep taking things day by day, part by part, and eventually everything just keep taking things day by day and part by part, and eventually everything's just gonna keep falling into place. But I know good things are in store for me. I'm excited to see where these next chapters take me. As one door closes, another opens. Um, Super excited. Gonna keep an open mind, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Staying through this journey and through this growth is gonna be a good one, and God willing, is gonna be a long one. Till next time.